Recap Tales of Herding Gods, Chapter 409. Chapter Emperor Yanfeng felt as though his tender cabbage had been trampled by a wild boar, and now that same beast had returned to ravage it anew. His body trembled with urgency as he tried to rise, intent on intercepting the pair of youths. Yet a cadre of deer demons stepped forth with fluid grace, restraining him effortlessly, forcing him to remain bound in place. A female deer demon approached, holding a bouquet of exquisite blossoms in her delicate hands. With a subtle gesture, she signaled the emperor to stay still, then set the fragrant flowers upon his head, their petals cascading like soft whispers of jade. Soon after, a group of mermaids glided forward, bearing crimson fruits that squirmed and quivered upon their plates, startling the emperor with their lively commotion. From the sidelines, tree demons swept their vigilant gaze across the sickbeds. Any who faltered or misbehaved received sharp lashes to their posterior. The once restless hall fell into a hush. Even the most illustrious figures of the martial world, Emperor and Empress Dowager included, bowed under this enforced decorum. When the demon's patrol ended, the Emperor's instincts urged him to hasten after the youths, yet the Empress Dowager's voice, slow and melodic, held him back. Emperor, spare yourself the trouble. The younger generation can manage their own course. If you fret so, how will Shuer ever find a proper marriage? Emperor Yanfeng's brow furrowed. Mother, you may not realize it, but the peril woven into primordial spirit dual cultivation is immense. It is forbidden for those who are not bonded as husband and wife. Should Shuer practice it with him, their primordial spirits would resonate, entwining in celestial harmony. Yet if she were to wed another later, that resonance would be lost, and without it, no feeling would remain. The pleasure of the primordial spirit's unity is vital. Without it, even marriage would end in separation. The Empress Dowager smiled, a curve both gentle and inscrutable. Then take him as your son-in-law. What fear lies there? Who would dare divorce a princess of the royal house? Emperor Yanfeng's voice dropped, heavy with hesitation. Mother, he is the heavenly devil cult master and the human emperor. My heart does not find ease. Her silence mirrored his, for she understood. The heavenly devil cult master's sway over the martial world rivaled his own command within the imperial court. Qinmu's ascension had cast his shadow across every hall and corridor, surpassing even the historical zenith of his cult. Dao Sect, Great Thunderclap Monastery, all were subdued beneath his rising influence, the imperial court itself, reliant upon the talents of his disciples for reform, the Eternal Peace Empire, from root to crown, throbbed with the pulse of heavenly devil cult. Yet more troubling was Qinmu's open mind and strategic brilliance. He had reformed his cult, establishing halls of learning and nurturing countless prodigies, mirroring the actions of the imperial preceptor. In just 2 years, the transformation he wrought had become a storm that chilled the hearts of Emperor and Empress Dowager alike. Around him were countless experts, and with the human emperor's seal in his possession, even the most venerable sects would bow to his command. Such power, unchecked, was a terror. If Qinmu became son-in-law, the succession of the empire could slip with a mere gesture. The child who had once entered the Eternal Peace Empire with innocence now roared like a tiger among dragons. Even without the thought of seizing dominion, who could guarantee that his heir would not covet the throne? As emperor, your caution is wise, the Empress Dowager intoned. Yet, why do I see lingering hesitation? You guard against Cultmaster Qin, yet you indulge him. This is unlike you. You allowed him to poison me, confining me to my sickbed for years, yet you accepted it to secure reform. Such ruthlessness is the mark of a true ruler. Emperor Yanfeng bowed his head, guilt weighing him down. Fu Yuanqing's action was silently permitted. My mother's influence would have been insurmountable otherwise. I acted unfilial, yet necessity dictated my choice. Even had Minister Qin not existed, I would have ensured the poison's removal once I seized the court's helm. The Empress Dowager's sigh was whined over mountain peaks. You have done well. Your ruthlessness surpasses my own. But why hesitate to act against Cultmaster Qin? A shadow crossed Emperor Yanfeng's face. I am afraid that even with Imperial Preceptor's aid, we will fail. Should we fall, the Empire and its people would perish. I must place trust in a successor to carry the reform forward. No one in the Ling family suffices, yet Heavenly Devil Cult Master might. She studied him closely, eyes soft with maternal wisdom. I never imagined my son capable of such foresight. If you believe Minister Qin is worthy, let Shiwer be his. The Ling family shall endure, even should the reforms falter. A subtle current stirred within the emperor's heart. Thoughtfully, he nodded. You are a good emperor, and imperial preceptor a good guide, she murmured, gazing at misted peaks. I will no longer oppose, change the world as you will. Reform to your heart's content. I shall retire to these woods to spar playfully with the young ones over my lover. Emperor Yanfeng's face darkened. Mother, the dignity of the royal house. The Empress Dowager laughed, sunlight gleaming upon her features, half smile, half iron. You are a dutiful son. Why not allow your old mother her joy? I have lain silent these many years. Now, let me have my amusement to fight with these youngsters for the last bit of pleasure. The Emperor's solemn nod affirmed her freedom. Do you require my aid to dispatch rivals? Her gaze sharpened with mirth. After decades ascending from concubine chambers, do you think I need your help? You underestimate me. By the tranquil lake beside the manor, Qinmu drew a stick of incense from his robes, embedding it into the earth's edge and lighting it. Ling Yushu inhaled the fragrant anomaly, curiosity alighting her features. What incense is this? This is Soul Guide incense, Qinmu replied, eyes gleaming. Within it are runes of guidance and over 100 aromatic essences. Though the art of Soul Guide is absent, the incense itself steers us. Should our primordial spirits wander as the incense burns, the runes awaken, beckoning our spirits back to our corporeal forms. Protection is unnecessary, the path is marked. Ling Yushu clasped his right hand, Qinmu extended his left for her. Fingers entwined, their gaze locked, their primordial spirits lifted in unison, leaving their bodies to roam the vast void. Memories of prior excursions surfaced. They had sought mastery, yet results had been uneven. The act of transmuting chance into certainty, a formidable challenge. Meeting Xu Shenghua had spurred Qinmu's realization of shared overlord body potential, intertwining fate and chance and guiding their spirits in tandem. Now, their spirits resonated in harmony, a numbing thrum radiating through the void, unforgettable in its intensity. They wandered amidst flowers the size of woven mats, sharp-edged grass blades, and jellyfish drifting through the sky, a panorama unlike any seen in eternal peace. Ling Yushu murmured, Do we truly see this, or is it a shared vision? The two reveled in the splendor, their minds suspended until a sudden surge of fragrance beckoned them home. Ling Yushu grasped a small fish, exclaiming, Whether illusion or reality, we shall see upon return. Swoosh! The dreamlike realm dissolved, and the youths returned to their bodies, hands clasped, eyes locked. A small fish twirled in Ling Yushu's palm, a live proof of their journey. She released it into the water. It struggled, flipped, and nearly drowned, but she rescued it. Soon it spat water and took to the skies, spraying her in playful defiance. She scowled at the fish, then turned to Qinmu. The one who herds cows, where have we gone? He pondered before answering. The eastern seas of the great ruins, a vast basin now desolate of water, yet teeming with resilient life forms. Many fish learned to fly, flowers adapted in kind. The East Sea, how far is it? Over 70,000 miles. Ling Yushu's eyes widened. In the time it takes an incense stick to burn, we traversed 70,000 miles and returned. Qinmu nodded, gazing afar. The primordial spirit knows no weight, thus it moves swifter than the body. Were the corporeal form so fleet, the distance could be conquered in an instant. She laughed, delight twinkling. Childish musings. Weight slows the body, none the spirit. Do you have more Soul Guide incense? We played too long, neglecting cultivation. We must try again. Qinmu's eyes sparkled with anticipation. Yes, we must. Playfulness is a luxury. The task demands diligence. As the incense burned, their primordial spirits once more left their forms. Qinmu scratched his head, a grin tugging at his lips. Shall we venture again? Ling Yushu's nod was resolute. This time, no distractions, only the art itself. Young ones truly know how to revel in life. Blind's voice drifted lazily beneath the hall's sun-drenched eaves, his gaze upon death like sunlight on rippling water. See how their vigor sparks like twin flames, their diligence in dual cultivation unmatched. Deaf, have you ever contemplated seeking a partner? Deaf, indifferent, lifted his hand and pointed to his ear holes, mocking comprehension, deaf to words and whimsy alike. Feigning ignorance, Blind scoffed. Gripping his cane to rise with a creak of ancient wood, he hobbled to Emperor Yanfeng's side, words tumbling forth with unrestrained audacity. In-law, your daughter cultivates alongside my moor? Why is blood searing your lips? Still scolding me. How can an emperor hurl reproach upon mortals? Dare you strike me? Do you think fear resides in me? Meanwhile, Qinmu and Ling Yuxiu had played with tireless abandon, over and again, their laughter echoing like distant bells. At last, reason settled upon them. The Six Directions primordial spirit cultivation method could not be mastered through mere frolic. They straightened, eyes glinting with resolve, and began unraveling the method with earnest minds. I sense the path begins with the resonation of souls and the primordial spirits, Ling Yuxiu said, her tone like a river settling into its bed. If our souls and primordial spirits can harmonize, lending strength to each other, they may step beyond the confines of our mortal vessels. Qinmu nodded, brows furrowed, pondering the currents of unseen power. Yet, this requires the primordial spirit to exist. What if it has yet to form? Before the primordial spirit resounds, the heart must fuse the spirit embryo with the soul. A thrill of excitement surged through Ling Yuxiu. Then let our journey commence from the souls themselves. Let the resonance guide the embryos, fusing soul and spirit embryo into the primordial spirit. Qinmu's eyes gleamed like dawn breaking upon still mountains. Two hearts must cultivate as one. My soul shall guide your embryo, and yours mine. At the instant our souls entwine, we shall leave the mortal coil, and our primordial spirits shall awaken in union. They shared a glance suffused with fierce anticipation. The theory was clear: soul guiding soul, spirit embryo entwined, each step drawing them closer to the birth of primordial power within the Six Directions realm. Ling Yuxiu's lips quivered with concern. The danger lies in forging this theory into a tangible technique, guiding each other's soul and embryo. Qinmu's steps traced slow circles, murmuring under breath. This art demands the simultaneous mobilization of primordial spirit, soul, and embryo. Trust must be absolute, kinship unbroken, selfishness abandoned. Only then can one hand over spirit and soul without hesitation. Ling Yuxiu's heart warmed. The closeness of their bond was made manifest. Let us not ponder the paths of others. We shall create this technique ourselves. Soul guide incense burned, thick with the essence of their intent. They wove their souls together, directing each other's embryos, mapping vital qi in intricate patterns, recording and refining the path as celestial artisans. Fatigue eventually claimed them, for too many prior games had drained their vigor. 6 days passed. The technique's framework emerged like mountains revealed from mist. Only minor refinements awaited. Yet Butcher's absence in pursuit of Xing'an cast a shadow of unease. Xing'an's formidable skills in medicine and corporeal manipulation hinted at peril beyond reckoning. From relaxed prefecture, Si Yunxiang, Yan Jingjing, and Hu Linger arrived on a swift ship, bearing herbs, cauldrons, and steaming apparatuses. Qinmu, casting aside concerns of Butcher and Xing'an, immersed himself in his craft, tending to the patients with careful hands, commanding deer demons to regulate heat, while venturing to the true dragon's nest. 5 legs awaited selection. Cripple chose 2, queries of purpose spilling forth. Spare legs, should yours vanish again, Qinmu replied, voice calm, hands steady as he prepared medicinal concoctions, carefree sword at ready, dragon's saliva in vial. The task, familiar and practiced, flowed with ease. Muir's craft grows ever more masterful, Cripple lauded. Deaf, ever the observer, raised brows. Too many injuries sharpened his skill. Cripple raged, yet Qinmu, carrying him to soak in steaming medicine, laughed. Old man's words are harmless. Knock on wood, knock on wood. Jade Dragon Bowl in hand, Qinmu sought blind. Divine eyes collected from Xing'an's misdeeds, arrayed within. Blind selected his, calm despite wounds long healed. It matters not if they cannot be reattached, he murmured. I shall restore them, Qinmu said, voice steady as mountain air. He prepared medicines with precision, aware of the delicate intricacy of ocular nerves rivaling the brain itself. Day and night, he applied every method, ingested, external, heated steam, injections, blending art and alchemy, nurturing nerves with a craftsman's devotion. Days passed, blind sockets stirred with life, fine tendrils awakening. Qinmu acted, reconnecting nerves, wrapping crushed spirit pills, commanding a tree demon as sentinel, ensuring timely care. He pondered Xing'an, body parts fragmented yet whole, primordial spirits shifting and hidden. The foe had preserved his essence. Only by eradicating the vital chest could death claim him. Chinmu turned to Granny C, seeking counsel, the study of souls, of heaven, earth, and life soul, of the seven spirits, canine corpse, concealed sparrow, yin of sparrow, seizing thief, not toxic, remove filth, smelly lung, all accounted for in intricate celestial logic. Xing'an's complete soul persisted despite corporeal fragmentation. Together they discerned the secret. Xing'an's original body, vital and veiled, lay concealed in the chest. Butcher's strike had failed to annihilate it. His weakness remains. Chinmu's voice carried the weight of certainty. Should he return with chest intact, our understanding is confirmed, and victory may yet be seized. Granny C's eyes gleamed with accord. The path to his downfall lies unveiled. The invincible shall be challenged, and the moment of reckoning awaits.